beautiful Taurians, welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your monthly reading for September 2022. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about to pretend to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings. I do not take your money, e-gifts, donations. I'm not on Facebook, WhatsApp, PayPal, Telegram, or Patreon. I will never ask you for your credit card details. I will never ask for personal details, and I will never give you a cell phone number to call, okay? So if anyone masquerading as me asks you for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam. Okay, let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful there's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Taurians, this is your September monthly reading. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome. But just to let you know, this is a jam-packed month, okay? There's a lot going on in terms of planetary alignment, and you should already feel that influence from that new moon in Virgo that occurred on the 27th of August, okay? Now that's all about getting productive, feeling a little bit more organized than usual, and analyzing our lives and seeing if we're moving in the right direction. And if we're not, it's about setting intentions or creating lists or deciding how to get back on track. Also, you may be connected or a little bit more focused on diet, exercise routines, building healthier boundaries and your confidence, and really, putting your life under the microscope. That's what this Virgo energy does, so that we come out feeling like our best version of ourselves, okay? Now, also, you may be getting clear on your finances. That influence from Virgo is an earth element. So with your sign being an earth element as well, you may be looking at bills, and paying things that you are, if you're getting on top of things, basically paying your bills, getting really organized, and paying attention to your duties, daily routines, and anything that you've left unresolved or unfinished, you're actually accomplishing them. You're actually focusing on getting things finished. Now, of course, we also have a clash between Venus, the planet of love, and that erratic and sometimes mischievous Uranus, as well as a standoff between the Sun, the Moon, and Mars. So life can feel a little bit pressurized during this period. You may feel a little bit more intense than usual, a little bit more sensitive than usual, and people may push your buttons, okay? Last month was like... it was almost like the beginning of this intense period, and it gets a little bit more pressurized during this month. But as we get to the middle of the month, things start to resolve themselves. Now, also we have Mercury in retrograde from the 9th of September, and that can be a little bit difficult. Communication going awry, issues, misunderstandings, electrical faults, power cuts, things like that. Technology just not going the way that you'd hoped. So watch out for that. Also, it can be a time where we are misunderstood. So I feel, especially with your Emperor card right there, you're going to push back against that energy and, take ownership, make yourself feel heard and clear. But it can also be a time period where things come back around because it's a retrograde. So people from the past, whether it's friends you haven't seen for a while, people you used to work with. Now, because we've got Uranus going on, you may also bump into people that you don't really want to, unexpected events occurring, change, that occurs around about the full moon in Pisces. We're going to get to that energy now in a moment for you. The Tower. A lot of signs are experiencing the Tower during this time period. So it definitely means that there is change, but I mean, you've got a really positive outcome on the other side of it. So it can mean sometimes things are a little bit uncomfortable, but it's for the positive. Now just also to let you know that that full moon in Pisces, which it brings a really calm, sort of dreamy energy where we start to focus on goals, dreams, things that we want to accomplish, it actually aligns with that crazy planet of change, Uranus. So if you're dreaming of change, then it is actually quite positive. But I would say it brings a really potent mix, so be careful what you wish for, okay? Now, in particular, my beautiful Taurians, your 5th house and your 11th house is starred. Now, of course, being an opposing sign to Scorpio, you do have some similar cards that Scorpio got as well. So there may be something in that reading for you, but also if you've got placements in Scorpio, you know, check that out as well. Of course, if you do not and you don't have any influences from Scorpio, then, you know, give it a wide berth. Just stick to your sun, moon, or rising sign. This is a card of flourishing and prospering despite difficult circumstances. But the 5th house for you is all about the pursuit of pleasure. So you may actually feel a little bit pulled in different directions in the month of September, where you know you need to focus on some goals and dreams, but also you want to play, you want to have fun, you want to bring a little bit more excitement into your world. This is a time period where love affairs can strike up if you're single, or you know, you can meet someone in terms of romance, but also it's about productivity and creativity. So I feel a lot of you are going to be connecting to your creative side and, you know, picking up hobbies or using the gifts that you've got and exploring them further. So if there's you know, a gift that you've not explored yet, perhaps you're really good at art, or you're really good at writing or spoken word, or you're really good at organizing spreadsheets, things like that, you may actually get back into the flow of that. Anything that you have enjoyed once before, whether it is a hobby or whether it's something that, you know, maybe it was a career, an opportunity to sort of get back into it comes back around because of that retrograde. Now, your first card here, we've got lots of butterflies. Things are changing for you, but for the positive. You do have the 11th house of hopes and wishes also being starred at the end of the month. So this is about connecting to your goals and dreams and thriving, even under these difficult circumstances. Now, I would say that, you know, we've got the 10 of Wands here, which means you may have had a lot of stress recently, a lot of, you know, you may have felt like the world was on your shoulders and you are actually trying to reach for your goals and dreams, and it's been very, very difficult. But as you move throughout the month of September, things get a little bit easier for you. Don't give up. You've got the courage to get to where you want to go, and your commitment will pay off, okay? So there is a time of prosperity here for you. This is your protagonist energy. So you may be looking at your plans, and you may be looking at how you're going to get to where you want to go. And you may actually see if there's an easier route. You may be tweaking the plan so that you are more time efficient, for example, because we have that Virgo influence. We've got the Emperor energy. So this is all about leadership, planning, structure. It's about making good decisions, and it's also about success. So you've got your eye on the prize as you move forward. Some of you may be setting up your own business, being an entrepreneur. Some of you may actually be stepping into a leadership position or some sort of promotion, but you've got power, okay? And you're using that power to influence your circumstances. So if you've been feeling a little bit lost recently, or you felt like, you know, there's been some problems with authority figures or people that you work with, those things do get resolved. But remember, we have a lot of pressurized energy. It tends to get worse before it gets better. So I'm not going to lie to you, my beautiful Taurians. If you've been struggling with something, know that there is balance, there is a solution, but it may feel a little bit more pressurized before it actually gets better, okay? Especially since you got that 10 of Wands. You're clearing space for new beginnings. You're clearing space for better things to come, but it's at a cost. And that may be of your energy. It may also be at, you know, you being fatigued or burdened, overburdened. Be mindful of overstretching yourself or overworking yourself. You don't want to burn yourself out because this is a very pressurized month. But the leadership card, they're actually showing me in the water a coin being flicked. You know, so, okay. Now, a coin being flicked actually showed up in a twin flame reading, I think, over the last couple of weeks. I'm not sure which sign for. It may have even been for your sign, my beautiful Taurians. So please take it as it resonates. Whenever I get a coin being flicked, it's like, you know, when you flip a coin, it's like leaving something up to chance. but also you're taking control. So perhaps there's something here that you feel is risky or a gamble, but I feel like you're in control. It's almost like a calculated risk that perhaps you're taking in your life, whether that's, you know, having a second stream of income, some sort of a side hustle, or, you know, you feel that someone is trying to control you and you're making a move in your career so that you release yourself from their control and actually move forward. This is about power. This is about getting good advice, but it's also about order, getting things in order. Suddenly you're solidifying things, and you are, it can be a card of revolution as well. So I feel like you're kicking back against something, being rational and saying, you know what, I'm not taking that. I'm taking a stand. So I feel actually in the month of September, it is about taking this stand as well. So just, I mean, you're coming out with the King of Cups here. So this is about being protective over a goal or something that you love. Could also be your family. You feel a lot of responsibility as you move throughout the month, but things work themselves out in a really positive way, okay? So highly pressurized at the beginning of the month, but things work out in your favor and become a little bit more peaceful and balanced as we move towards the end of the month. Now, the Nine of Cups indicates you've got a wish, you've got a goal, and something in mind that you're trying to achieve or something that you're trying to accomplish. You can see it in sight. Okay, and you've built a plan or a strategy. And if there's something you don't know, you're definitely finding advice, whether you're like looking it up online, the information, you're soaking it up like a sponge, whether it is you're looking at how-to videos online for free, you know, there's loads of them out there on YouTube. Whatever it is, I feel like you're gathering the information you need to accomplish something that you've got your eye on, okay? This is about contentment. This is about satisfaction and fulfillment. So, you know, you're reaching for the good life, my beautiful Taurians, and why not? You are capable of having it all. So I feel you may have been working hard towards something and it's been a struggle. Some of you may have like taken 2 jobs, 3 jobs to make things work, and you're hustling away. You are going to accomplish whatever it is within your sight, or whatever it is your idea of success is, because everybody's idea of success is going to be different. But make sure it's not at a cost to your health, okay? Because with the 10 of Wands, this can be like burnout. You need to make sure that you don't give yourself a nervous breakdown with that Tower energy right in the center. Equilibrium, you've got the Temperance card there. So it's like all things in moderation. You don't need to fast track anything. Everything will happen in divine timing, okay? So with the Moon card, it can also mean like hidden things come to light and really like restructure your world. And that's collectively. I'm feeling like a major restructure collectively for us all. And I feel like you're putting yourself in a really good position to weather a storm. That's what I feel for you, okay? And you may have felt like you've been struggling to get there or overwhelming yourself to get there. Don't worry, my beautiful Taurians, you're going to get there, and it's going to be okay. Now, some of you, for example, you may be deciding to look for a new position in your career, or you're setting up your own business, because we've got the Ace of Pentacles here at the end of it. I feel like there's either a new job, some sort of financial news that's positive, some sort of growth financially here for you, a little bit more money than you expected at the end of the month. I feel like it's the beginning of something. Now, it's not that it's a little, I feel like it's a little more than usual, but I mean, I feel like you're on the right track to, your investments are on the up, let's put it that way. So it could be new income, or it could be a promotion, a raise, or a new job, for example. But the 10 of Wands indicates this success you worked really hard for, okay? When you get the 10 of Wands, this is about, it can also be about oppression. So if you feel like you're working within an environment that has strict rules and regulations, and this also came up in the Scorpio reading, it's about kicking back and doing things your own way. I actually feel like you may shock a lot of people by saying, you know what? I don't want to be responsible for these things anymore, or I don't want this heavy, oppressive energy. So I feel like you're taking a stand in the month of September, whatever that means for you. I mean, in terms of the world, for example, there's a lot of change going on. Things are inflating. Things are like, you know, getting out of control. It's almost like this combustible energy that I feel collectively for everyone. And, you know, with the Tower energy showing up, it does mean, you know, everything that becomes so inflated eventually crashes, you know, or combusts. So I definitely feel like you're putting yourself in a really good position to weather a storm. That's what I feel. That Virgo energy is making us all feel a little bit more productive, a little bit more organized, and super focused. And with the Ten of Wands, it takes a lot to put yourself in a really good position. As you can see, this figure here is blossoming, but it's difficult. It's overwhelming. When you get a 10 of Wands there, it's also about you being strong. Okay, because you're strong enough to go through this personal growth. You may have overcommitted yourself and got many burdens and it's quite stressful, but you're strong enough to do all the things that you said you were going to do. You're clearing space for something better, something greater. The Ten of Wands normally means you've been really strong for a very long time, and now you're at an end point where you can lighten your load. In the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, the figure is carrying all those wands and home is in sight. He's about to set down his heavy load. And I feel that's what you're about to do in the month of September. All that stress, all that, anxiety, all that overwhelming burden or whatever responsibility you've been carrying on your shoulders, I feel like you're about to set it down and just go, okay, I've put myself in a really good position. I can relax. Okay, so I feel like it's just a little bit of energy where you relax. Now we've got here the one who frees. And it says liberation, unrestrained freedom. Now this is a resistance position. So you may have felt something has been very stagnant in your world recently, or you may have felt tied to something. So whether that's tied to a contract or a responsibility, I feel like by the end of September, you actually liberate yourself from this and you move forward. It may have caused you a lot of emotional upset or a little bit of worry as you've been approaching September. And you may be wondering, how do you sort of like overcome this thing or sort of release yourself from this thing? But I feel divine timing occurs, and with the Tower energy, it means release. It means if you've been going round and round in a circle, or if you felt overburdened, there's like some sort of breakdown where things that have no purpose in your life or have not been working in your life, they fall away and success ensues. After the Tower, we have the Star energy. That's the natural order of things. So that's clarity, success, hope. There is a brighter day. But remember, as I said, it's a little bit more pressurized before it gets better. That's what I feel for your energy. So I'm not going to lie to you. I feel like there's this heavy oppressive energy as we're moving closer to the middle of the month, and then everything becomes a lot more lighter, okay? So I feel like you're on solid ground despite the storm around you. And that could be collectively in terms of the world, but I feel on a personal level, you are coming into balance. You're freeing yourself up. If there's anything that you've been feeling a little bit impatient to move forward on, know that sometimes we have to take a pause in order to regroup our energy and re-examine our priorities. If we go too fast in life, sometimes we miss something. So your guides are like, slow down. Take the time to really be observant of the things that are around you, and everything will become clear. You've got the card of equilibrium. Now it's in the resistance position, so again, it's like I got it in the reverse. And we've got the Tower and the Moon. These cards indicate perhaps you've been feeling a little bit impatient that something's not been showing up in your world, a little bit frustrated with the Moon energy right here, okay, and confused perhaps at what's going on in some area of your life. You're like, why are things like this? It's so crazy. And the Tower energy in this position is like avoidance or denial, fear. So I feel like you can't ignore something anymore. So for example, if you've been working super hard and you're like fit to drop because you've been overextending yourself, you cannot ignore that energy. If you've been working in a very difficult environment and it's so pressurized and unrewarding, you can't ignore that anymore. So I feel like you're seeking other outlets for change. You may put your resume out there, find another opportunity. Some of you may decide that where you're living is like not right for you anymore, and you may decide to change your circumstances. Everything becomes balanced as you move throughout September, and you make a decision that is actually right for you, and you move forward. So you do actually come into the upright position of this card by the end of the month. So this is about moderation, patience, harmony, but also seeking meaning and purpose. So I feel like your true calling, you're on the right path, but you may have felt a little bit stagnant or stuck for a while. You're breaking out of that rut that you may have felt like you were in. Now, the Tower energy is basically all the things that are within our lives that have not been working, but we've been holding on to. So for example, if we're like, okay, I really want this thing, but there's a big obstacle in the way of it. We may have been chipping away at the obstacle, the mountain that's in front of us, going, I'm gonna chip and forge away through this mountain. But by the end of the September, you're actually gonna look at that mountain and go, you know what? I'm just gonna drive around it. I'm still getting to my destination, but there's an easier way. So I feel like you're finding that easier way and not overburdening yourself. If you're the sort of person, my beautiful Taurus, where you take on a lot because you don't like to disappoint people, I feel like you're really looking at the way you operate and finding that wonderful and exciting word, no. Okay, it's a very simple word, 2 letters, no. It can be said in a very different way and tone to say, you know what, I really love to help you, but unfortunately, I've got my own stuff going on right now. If I've got some time, I'll help you, but right now, I got to focus on this thing. You can let people down gently, okay? It's very powerful because it actually teaches people your boundaries. So if people have been overworking you or overstepping a mark in September, I really feel like you're going to shock a lot of people by saying, no, I'm sorry, things are changing. I feel like you're restructuring your world. The Tower is like a demolition. Okay, now because it's in the resistance position, it can mean something that you were avoiding comes crashing down or comes towards you. It may bring a shock or an uncomfortable feeling, because the Tower is not to be feared. It's not a negative card. What it means is sometimes things change, and we've got to be okay with that, because the one thing that is actually constant in our life is change. And there may be something that either you've been avoiding or you can see coming, and you've been working really hard to sort of like put yourself in a really good position, and it happens anyway. But it actually brings liberation. The Tower is like an epiphany. It doesn't have to be like an event that is shocking. It can be a realization of, an end to an old way of doing things. So if you're always the one who has a responsibility and you pick up all the work and you're overworking yourself and you've got no time for you, suddenly you're restructuring and saying no. So you're actually liberating yourself while surprising some people around you, because if you're breaking patterns and they have expectations built on what you've done before, then you're actually not meeting other people's expectations. You're meeting your own, okay? The Tower is also like a sudden paradigm shift, letting go of the things that are not working to embrace things that do. So this is a card that can also bring sudden change, especially since Uranus is in the mix. So because we've got uncertainty with the Moon card there as well, this can mean suddenly there's an opportunity that shows up in the form of something that you're not really sure about or you're uncertain about at first. But then when you take a closer look, you realize actually this is something that's like a silver lining. It's a gift, because I really feel like you're being offered something very positive in the month of September, but it shows up in the form of something else. So I would say investigate everything that shows up by surprise for you. Also, I feel hidden emotions can come back. Things that we, lessons or things that we thought we processed can resurface. Exes can come out of the woodwork during this period because of that Mercury retrograde. But I feel here that you're using your intuition to navigate a storm and put yourself in a really good position. Foxes are very clever, okay? Foxes tend to see the positive of negative situations. They always find the gold where other people fail to see it. Foxes operate and thrive under difficult circumstances. So I feel like there's a window of opportunity for you even in uncertain times, and I feel like you're going to grab that opportunity. It's no sort of accident that a major fated event, I feel like intuitively you avoid something negative. Okay, that's what I see here. I feel like by going slowly and not rushing, you avoid something that could have been, monumental in your world. So, for example, how can I put this? For example, there may be For example, you may have like a very toxic environment that you work in, and they're about to make loads of redundancies, but you take like a raise or a promotion just before it happens, and you are actually kept in the company. Now, I'm not saying everyone's going to go through a redundancy. I'm not saying that at all. But I feel like whatever the changes that are happening around you, you actually put yourself in a really good position and you get a better deal or a better outcome. Okay, it's not all about money, of course. It can be about the world, cycles of change, and you intuitively navigating them, liberating yourself and being very flexible when changes occur. You're using your instincts. They just gave me the word instincts. Okay, now they're just showing me something in the water. One moment, please. Okay, so this is not going to resonate for everyone, but they're just showing me something which is like well, it's like a mole. They're not showing me where it is. I got a real close-up of it, for example, and you know, I feel like it's something that someone's keeping an eye on. Okay, I feel like, yeah, you're keeping an eye on it. So I would say definitely keep an eye on it. Check it out if you have to, if you've got any worries. That's not going to resonate for everyone. I've got a small portion of energy coming out from that. So they're showing me it's nothing to worry about, but it's best to keep an eye on it. Okay, or get it checked out just for your peace of mind. They're showing me peace of mind. Okay, because when we do not have peace of mind and we bury our head in the sand, for example, on something, it actually amplifies our fears, ticks over in the back of our mind, and actually robs us of energy that we could be focusing on other things. So they're just showing me a positive outcome, but they want you to sort of work through anything that you've been worrying about on the other side. Okay, so that's, yeah, so you know, if that applies to you, please check it out. We've got the one who is wild, untamed, wild, mysterious, free. Okay, so I feel like if anything has tried to control you in any shape or form, whether it is an addiction that you have, my beautiful Taurians, you know, whether it's a, you know, sometimes a negative relationship to food, if you have any sort of emotionally sensitive experiences, or you have any bad news or anything like that, you may reach for, you know, negative food, for example. We all do it, you know, we're all guilty of reaching for that biscuit or that packet of biscuits. It's always the same. You say, you know what, I'm just gonna have one, and then one packet of biscuits later, you're like, where'd the biscuits go? Did I eat all that? Oh, shoot. So you get really like, you know, so but I feel like you're freeing yourself up. You're literally liberating yourself from something that is controlling. It can also be you overextending yourself or being exhausted all the time. Because of that Virgo influence, you may be looking at diet and all the foods that you put into your body and how they release good energy as opposed to bad energy. But I feel this is about you doing something differently. Okay, you're not being controlled by the status quo. You're standing, I feel like you're standing firm on something. We got the one who becomes, metamorphosis, transcend, and journey. And Scorpio got these cards as well. So I feel like there is radical change happening in your world in September. I feel a collective change for everybody, a really major shift. You only need to look at the world to know that there is some sort of major shift occurring. And I feel, as you can see, she's pointing at her third eye. So that is about to see. And she's also sort of like illuminated in the crown chakra area, and to know. So I feel like you know that you need to be flexible during this period because, you know, Uranus brings shocking changes. Now, it's like you're using your deep knowing and deep intuition as an antennae. You know, I mean, look, you've even got the other card that Scorpio got, which was the one who knows. You know. Okay, it says here, wisdom, clarity, and resolution. So if there's any difficult period that you've been going through, you find a solution. And I feel like it's a positive energy. We've also got the one who guides, new path, guide, renewal. So some of you are going to embrace new paths, either in your career or in a personal growth sense. It's almost like you're rejuvenating, reinventing yourself, and being flexible to move forward despite chaotic energy around you. It's almost like I feel like you're protected. You're walking through the storm as it sort of goes around you. It's like you're in the eye of the storm and you're just walking through. So I feel like you're being given a free path through this difficult period that everybody collectively is going to be having, because you're strong enough. you're putting yourself in a really good, strong position. Now, you're using your wisdom, your hunches, your inner knowing to create freedom. And it's so important. You know, they're giving me a bell, the sound of a bell. They did that in another reading as well. So either that's, you can hear a bell as you're listening to this reading. It's so weird to keep getting signs and symbols that other readings are getting. So it feels like there is a collective, there's something collectively occurring here where the energy is merging. So either you can hear a bell as you listen to this reading, or you have a sudden realization as you're hearing a bell. Could be a bell of some sort of place of worship, or it could be a bell on your phone, bell on a bike, bell on a car. You know, so please listen out. I feel like it signals change for you. But I feel like you're renewing your energy. So after a period of exhaustion, you're actually being revitalized and being more productive in the month of September, but you're actually achieving your goal. Excuse me. I feel like anything that has been left undone or unfinished actually gets completed during this period. And with the Empress card here as well, this is a card of maturity. Sorry, this is not the Empress card. They just corrected me. They're right. I'm getting this real Empress energy here. This is actually the Strength card. But they're giving me this Empress energy, which is about nurturing things that you've already invested in, having a real glow up, loving yourself a little bit more, seeing your potential, connecting to like healthier habits, healthier boundaries, nourishment, and manifesting possibilities. So although I'm feeling that energy, I'm not seeing a card that's connected to, so perhaps that's more of your creative side coming out because we have that 5th house there starred for you. But we got the card of strength. So this is about you being strong enough to make the changes in your life to put yourself in a really good position, but also streamline your energy and follow your heart. If I'm looking at this whole board for you as I feel like you're not giving up on a dream. I feel like your plans are working. I feel like you avoid a difficult circumstance and you release the things that are not working for you. I actually feel like there's a wonderful opportunity in the shadows that you're not even aware of just yet that brings a little bit more finances. And I feel like you're elevating. Okay, but the struggle, I can see that you've had a difficult time. So I'm sending you a huge hug out there, my beautiful Taurians. Things do get better, but know that the pressure is on at the first, and then things get easier for you, okay? But they want you to be aware of your inner strength, your inner knowing. This is a card of your self-resolve, your inner resolve, your endurance. You've got such a beautiful heart, okay? And they want you to be aware. Following your heart, it will never lead you astray. Also have compassion for yourself, because this is a card of self-love, self-care. So if you have been overstretching yourself to accomplish goals or reach deadlines, know that you are burning yourself out, and there is an easier way to be found so that you can actually have a little bit more time for you, okay? 8 is the number of the self, so they're indicating, me time is important. Now, also when you get this card, they're indicating you are a force to be reckoned with. And there may have been that inner roar that you've wanted to let out for a while. It's almost like September is this combustible month where you let it all out, okay? And it's almost like you arrive on the scene and your inner power elevates you and gets you over a bump in the road that you've been experiencing, okay? Like if I was in a car right now with you, my beautiful Taurians, it's almost like you put your foot on the gas and you're like, I'm coming through. Excuse me, everybody out of my way. I've had enough. I'm moving forward. Forget the obstacles. So I actually feel that energized sort of influence coming from you. Also, they're showing me focus, intense focus, and how can I put that? Branching out. Expanding, so expanding ideas, expanding your plan, expanding your business, and launching something that may have even made you feel a little bit anxious. So we've got the King of Cups here. The King of Cups is a leadership position also, but it's someone who leads with their heart. Someone who's got a plan at the beginning with the Emperor energy, but then lets their heart take over, and something that they were scared to launch or, you know, worried about, intuitively finds the right moment. As you can see, we've got the shark infested waters there. So it's like your gut instinct is telling you there's some sort of change or something to be mindful about. And it asks you to put yourself in a good position to protect your journey. The ship represents journey. And as you can see, the King of Cups takes the ship out of the water because they feel something's off. It's not the right time. It's best to be protective of your journey than to launch something. So I feel like you're actually going to look at perhaps your finances, because it's covered by the Ace of Pentacles, and look at the institutions that you're with, financial institutions, and, you know, reshuffle your finances to make sure you're in a really good financial position, and make sure you are vibing with people, establishments that you trust. Okay, it can also be that there's something that is your true calling, but you feel you need to intuitively find the right moment to launch it. So whether it's a new business, whether it is, a search for a new job or a new path, some of you may actually be traveling. Whatever it is that you feel like you're about to embark on, you will intuitively find the right moment to do it. And it's going to change your life for the better, okay? Also, the King of Cups is someone who is a natural born leader, someone who's got a lot of compassion, someone who leads with their heart, is a visionary, but also very protective of those that they work with. You've got a lot of cards of protection, but also of responsibility, my beautiful Taurians. And that's how you feel within your family unit. But remember, you are a human being. You don't have to always be a human doing. Okay, you can kick back and relax. It doesn't always have to be, you know, going at 100 miles a minute. You can actually take some time to get to your destination. Now, some of you are actually launching, as I said, a second hustle, you know, a side hustle, whatever you want to call it, because you've got that card of balance. And some of you are going to really surprise a lot of people with your success. We've got the Ace of Pentacles here, so that's a real breakthrough. By following your heart, as you can see, that's sort of forming into a heart. There's going to be an opportunity to apply yourself to be very, very successful. This is a card of being a gift, recognizing that your intuition, your hunches are a gift, but also there is good fortune on the way for you. Aces tend to be the start of something. So if you're starting a new project, they're going to flourish. If you've got, you know, you're opening yourself up to find a new career or a new job opportunity, there's one headed your way that's going to bring a lot more money. This is good fortune, okay? But it's also about physically seeing prosperity in its purest form showing up in your world. There's a breakthrough. Now, it took a long time for that stem to break through all that mud, all that soil to flourish. And it's thriving. So I feel like whatever you've been working on for a very long time is going to start to flourish. You're aligning yourself with success this month, and either there's a new job opportunity or you're going to see how you are making an impact in your world. It actually brings a lot of positive energy, composure, and satisfaction. Okay. Now, I feel like you're on the edge or the precipice of something that is going to bring a lot of concrete change to your material status. So whether it is a bonus, I know the world circumstances are a little bit crazy right now, so you may be like, what company could actually give a bonus? But I feel like you may be surprised, because with the Tower energy and the moon, that represents a shock or a surprise. And shocks and surprises, they don't always have to be negative. They can be a wonderful surprise, especially since you're getting this as an outcome. So it can mean that suddenly your boss, because the Emperor represents people in power, noticing your skills, your gifts, sees all your hard work and wants to elevate you, okay? So you could have a surprise opportunity, whether it's a promotion or a little like, a little nod from someone in a position of power that wants to elevate you. I see you moving forward to a new path and renewing your energy, renewing your hope, and exceeding your limitations or what you perceive as your limitations and meeting your expectations as well, okay? You're strong enough to weather this storm, whatever that means for you. So, I mean, I gotta be honest, I would listen out for some news that may surprise you, shock you, may even like make you feel a little bit ungrounded at first, but actually, things, how do I put that? Calibrate themselves and come into balance, and everything comes into focus. Know that you are protected and that there is a time of plenty on the other side. It may not feel like it right now, but things are headed in a positive direction. Now, finally, we got Tiger, Fire. Now, this is the year of the tiger, so I do feel like this is going to be, I feel like you end this year knowing that actually you've worked really hard, and you're going to be rewarded for your commitment and dedication to your dreams and your perseverance. But right now you may be in the midst of it and not really see the rewards. But it says here, I choose to be unstoppable. My passion is my power. I am bold. I am brave. Mighty forces come to my aid. So I feel like your intense focus, your intense drive will get you to where you want to go. Okay. You may also find that you actually have an ally, a very powerful ally somewhere. So if you work for a company, or you maybe you are retired, for example, and I am working on a retirees reading. It's taken me a while to sort of really get clear on what to focus on, because I want to make sure it's of benefit to you all out there. So it will take a little bit of time, but it is coming, just to let you know. But you may find in the month of September that you actually have friends in high places, okay, that point you in the right direction or give you some really good advice to help you be in a really good position. But I feel like you're protecting your position and protecting a goal or dream or something close to your heart, and it's rewarding. Yeah, they're just showing me that you're going to use your instincts. This is a month of instinct for you, okay? And make sure you pay attention to what you hope for or what you wish for and how you word it to the universe, okay? This period, the 11th house, can also be you being a little bit more sociable than usual, networking for business, connecting to friends. I just keep getting this energy of friends in high places for you. And I also feel like you're going to be productive in the right way. Just make sure you don't overburden yourself, because, that's when you can lead to completely fizzling out your energy and, just being completely burnt out and be like, you know what, I got no ideas, even though you got loads of them, but you'll have a block because you're exhausted. So I'm going to get final rune for you. Now, the first one we got here is limits, okay, upheavals. So this is actually delays or stagnant energy, upheavals, change, risks. I mean, they were showing me the coin earlier. So either you're the sort of person that flipped a coin on something, or you're actually going to see someone flipping a coin. It could be in a movie. I mean, the last time it showed up, it was in like I'm sure it was in a twin flame reading. So, but they showed me a movie last time of a character in Batman. When I researched it, it was horrible, but it was like Harvey Dent was the name of the character, and it was like Two-Face was his character's name, but before he was a good person, but then there was a radical change, something negative happened, and then he turned. So it can mean watch out for anyone that if intuitively you feel someone does not have your back, trust that instinct. Okay, so I would trust that. But also, I would avoid anything that's risky, any get quick rich schemes or things like that. I would really think about calculated risk rather than taking risks that could be like detrimental to your growth or to your prosperity. Just be mindful of that, okay? Because this is the ruin, but basically would connect to the tower energy of radical change, bringing upheaval. I mean, some of you may have been looking for a new house or a new place to live, and you're literally uprooting your life to move somewhere else, and you're investing in something that you love that actually brings a lot of peace. But moving will be one of the most stressful experiences that you will have as you're in the midst. You have to do all the packing, you have to look for a property, you have to navigate all the inflation, the mortgages, the realtors, all you have to do all the things. So it may be a time of high pressure. We've also got human. Sorry, this is horse. I just realized it's horse. Progress. So this is about changes, but moving forward. So whatever these changes are, they are for the positive. They bring you to a point of progress, movement forward. Trust that your future is in safe hands and that you're making really good decisions. Okay? You're overcoming obstacles, but it may feel a little bit pressurized as you move through them. And finally, we've got static, ice. Now this is about energy. It can be energy loss. You feel like there's a cooling off period. It could also be a separation period between relationships. Whenever we got that clash between Venus, the planet of love, and erratic Uranus, it can also bring trouble or strife within friendships or love relationships where people argue a little bit more than usual. So there may be a need for a cooling off period before you come back on track and, you know, resolve the issues. But I see you resolving anything there. This is a rune of, it can also connect to superstition and unforeseen forces bringing change, but you need to use your intuition in order to navigate them. So you're getting quite intense energies showing up for you, but I see that your struggle actually brings prosperity and aligns you with your heart, with your true intention. Now, I feel like there is major change for you with that moon card, but I feel like you're being really clever. You're using your intelligence. And you've got major cards here, so this is a big deal for you, major fated energy. But they're indicating the changes that you're going through, you're strong enough to weather the storm. They want you to be aware of that, okay? So I feel like it's more of a case that you are the storm. You're the one making the radical changes, shocking a lot of people, keeping your eye on the prize and accomplishing whatever it is you set out to, and you're not going to be held back. You're unstoppable, okay? You're releasing all the pressure, you're releasing any restrictions, and you're moving forward. You're liberating yourself. So really positive month. I see a little bit more money for you there, or being able to save a little bit more money. I feel like something is prospering for you. And if you've got that second hustle, it may even bring in a little bit more money than you expected and eventually become a main business for you, okay? So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates in that reading for you, my beautiful Taurians. If it does, please like or subscribe to my channel. Completely free for you. All you have to do is press a little bell that lets you know when I update my next message. It lets me know that you resonate with the reading, which is very, very important for me too. Thank you so much, my beautiful Taurians. Love and light.